weekend session. G1 will take STO, enter STO. Actually, I'm facing very like critical issues in STO. So one part of the previous session was how to do the SDVL 0 to N. So we were able to create 23 N. Okay, so we're able to create our enter STPO. So this one second. This one was our PO. So I've mapped the same details in my system. That's okay. So no. So this was what we made in our STO. Okay, so let's go back. This is one. So this is my STO that we created in the previous recording. You can also check that in the history. So we're able to create this order. So I was facing one issue that picking is not completed in full. So it means that the picking quantity I checked with the SD person, I did not fill the pick quantity. That is why that error was coming. So when I filled that, it got resolved. And other thing, the movement. So we have to enter the reason for the movement of 641. So we can use the reasons for movement. So I configured these two movements for our Migo. You can also configure your reason for movements. For a movement type, it is configured in the configuration. So I configured my movement as S2 and second is for no reason. Then we were able to create our 641. So this 641 got created for my PO. Now on the other end, on the receiving end, I need to do a 101 against this 641 or against this PO. So when I go to the other plant, I'll do the receiving of this PO, right? So I'll go to show MIGO. I'm just covering it up. Even Jeevan will also do this. So it's left. Okay, against the outbound delivery, I'll make it. So always try to receive against the outbound delivery, because what happens in the end, when you will be working in the live scenarios, then in the companies, so this is GR101. 101. Okay, so when I did 101, the data came for the delivery, outbound delivery. So in the live scenario, what will happen when you work in a company, when you do 641, after 641, the receiving end or the receiving plant of your intra STO will have to make a 101 document. If you don't give them outbound delivery number or just give them a direct PO, this will create a lot of issues while accessing the PO. They might do some changes that are not relevant to them. So this will create issues in the live or the production environment. So it is always recommended by SAP to use the outbound delivery. They have given the purchase order and etc. or the details, but always whenever you see some details, it will be recommended to use this. Okay, so I'll put my main entry gate number. This is a custom environment, so it is, I need to put this. This is a custom gate info and DMS button. So I put today's date. Let's check once again. So I can put any date, it's fine. Otherwise, it won't work. My header text is mandatory. So what I'll do is I'll put outbound SIP STO. Okay, I'll just put some header text. Then I'll go check my quantity. I'll put item okay first. Click on where goods recipient. Let's say some Anuj person. Then everything is same. Everything is same. I have not changed anything. Then we can go click on check. Then since this is green, you can also check our where location. This is my other plant. This is my 1003 plant for which I did the picking from. For which I placed the order for my sending plant. Now when I go click on check, then I click on post. It will post if the dates are open. I have not changed the dates also. It is loading. Let's check if it gets error. Okay, so it got posted. I'll go click on display. Then my material document is here. Okay, so we can also check the accounting documents. No subsequent accounting document found. Why? I told you in the starting also. In this process, when you do 641 and 101, only the accounting will be generated at 641 and not 101. Okay, so we saw the accounting getting generated for the plant sending and the plant receiving against the stock account. Okay, so the stock account will get debit and will get credit. Now, so we have completed this part only. This UB 351 will be done by will be done by this uh, G1, and this intercompany STO will also be done by G1. I am facing issues with the customer server and my server also, but I was able to process this. So we have checked this. Fine. Now I'll go. Okay. So this is one trick that I wanted to share with you guys. I'll just take 2 more minutes, then we'll go and start our lean service procurement. That is also an important topic, and we'll finish it today itself. Okay. So today I had one clarity that when you do intercompany involves two company. So I had one company. Let's keep it ALPL, and let's keep it as beta. Okay. So the trick to remember that how to involve these two company codes is whoever is receiving. Okay, so whoever is receiving will need your vendor ID, and whoever is sending. Okay, whoever is sending should have the supplying plant should have your customer ID mapped. So if you go to the configurations that I told you about InterSTO in the last session, you will get how I map the customer with the company code of the receiving. Okay, so this comes in basic logical explanation. The sending plant will be mapped with the customer data, and the receiving plant will be mapped with the vendor data. So this might sound confusing, but when you practice InterSTO in the session, then it will be much more easier. Okay, so this is one trick that I wanted to add. So I've added this today only. Okay, let me save, exit. Then okay, so let's go to today's session that we had to start. Lean services. So what are lean services? So lean services are a part of S4 HANA. What happens in S4 HANA, we used to do in ECC, we used to do external services. So external services are nothing but your service master. But in S4 HANA, as I already explained in the previous sessions, that the material master has included the product type 2 for lean services, which has replaced the necessity to create any external service master. Is there anyone who's willing to join? Okay. Anyone was raising their hand or okay? I think Guru Raj, right? No issues. Okay. So as I already explained in the lean services in S4 HANA, there's no need to create any external master. In ECC, if somebody know already about ECC or they have worked on the ECC part, then they will know that we have external service master with the item category as D. So when you use D, you need service masters. So we are not going to use service masters. So we will not be going into this. So in S4 HANA, we have lean services. So lean services is a type of procurement that works on the lean service principle. So lean service means you need to identify the value. The flow will be very simple, and within a very few clicks, like 6 to 7 clicks, you'll be able to create a service entry sheet, which was not possible in the previous lean services, that is ME81L. Okay, so ME81L was one T code that was used in creating the service lean services. Sorry, the service entry sheet for the service master. So I've prepared today's agenda as so I'll be introducing the lean services, the business process. Why do we need it? The process flow, the Fury app. I'll show you the Fury app. The configuration is very simple. You need to configure two, three things. Other things are related to this. Other things are which are related to this are PR. Okay, so how to use the lean services in PR? I'll tell you that. So let's go to our introduction. So lean services were newly introduced in S4 HANA to simplify the service procurement. As you can see in the photo, I have copied this photo from Google. So in the transformers, this is a transformer. Okay, so what happens in the plant is you have so this is a generator. So you have different generators or different units that are handling the maintenance activities. Correct. So when a plant is running due to wear and tear or friction or any other causes, the machinery is liable to deteriorate over time. By deteriorate, I mean it will have some breakouts, or it will leak some oil, or some gears might get broken. So what happens is we need to make a service entry sheet. So earlier in ECC, we used to do ME81N. Sorry, ME81N, ML81N. My bad. ML81N was used in ECC. So in ECC, we used to make one service master. With the service master, ML81N was used. So if you go today and open, this is my S4 HANA 1909. If I go to ML81N, I forgot to put slash n. Then it will open, right? It will open this is very uh, old school thing. So when you want to do your service entry sheet for the service master, you need to put account assignment category, external service number, your service location, period. Okay, this period was already mandatory, and then service number is used to create. Then you have to scroll right, then put the cost center, other details. Everything was very lengthy. Now in S4 HANA, they have introduced very simple features that will help you. So this all things were there. They have introduced it in Fury, and as you know, Fury design principle. One of the principle is the consistency and the elegance in the UI UX. So in the service entry sheet, ML81N was used in ECC. It can also be used in S4 HANA, but we are not going to use it because this service entry sheet is much simpler and it is much easier to look at, and the documents that you have will cover all the scenarios that were already there in the uh, previous service entry sheets. Okay, so this is the idea behind lean to simplify the process of booking of service entry sheet. So within 6 or 7 clicks, you can book a full service entry sheet, and it will be much easier to do. Okay, so this was ECC part, previous history. Now we have what are the new things that were introduced in the procurement of SAP S4 HANA. Okay, so now since we are in the S4 HANA, so we'll take a look on the new functionalities that was introduced for the lean services. Okay, so for the lean services, as I already told you, in OMSK we can go to /n OMSK. Okay, OMSK. My bad. No, not OMSK. Okay, so when we went to OMS2 for our material types, if we go click on our material type, then you can see this is product type group 2. Sorry. Okay, so you can see this is product type group 2. When you go click on this, then you can see this is subscription, services, and material, and this is compatibility mode. I'm not sure what compatibility mode is, but material, service, and subscription is standard. So material, as you all know, every raw material every other material will have this. Then the service will be in the SERV product type. So this is product type 2. So with product type 2, you can only use the account assignments that are relevant to this. So account assignment which are related to maintenance order. You can create a PM order. Then with that maintenance order, you can create a service, right? With that service, you can put the PR, the PR that is generated from the maintenance order. You can make a PO for that. Then comes the material. With the material, you can have this material with the ROH, RAW, everything. You can map it. Subscription are those that are related to subscription services. So we'll not go into this. So this is product type group 2. Then we can also check other products. This is ROH. I'll go to ROH settings. So this is not mapped right now, but this is basically you'll map it with 1. This is product type 1 materials. Otherwise, it can also be blank. Okay, so let's go back. So this is product type 2. That is that was introduced in the S4 HANA. SERV with the combination of product type is used to differentiate the material and the services. Then flexible workflow. So flexible workflow is the topic that we'll cover in the next session. So I've attached one link for you guys to self-study. I'll upload the PowerPoint presentation also on the Google Sheet or Google Drive. So this flexible workflow is one thing that provides the workflow. Workflow means approval workflow. So approval workflow will be very easy. So whatever the workflow was picked in the purchase order, the same workflow will be picked for this service entry sheet for approvals. Then you have limits. So enhanced limits was introduced and value limits. So with this means no quantities. Okay, without any quantities, you can put that. So this is used in some industries where you don't have any limit on the quantity. You just want to have the service, and when this is done, you'll put a SES after this is done. Okay. What happens in services? Sometimes you know how many jobs you need or how many days of service is going to be there. Otherwise, this limits what limits has. When you have value limits, it will have no quantity. This means enhanced limits. So this will be a confirmation on the service entry sheet. Okay. So when we do GR means SES only. SES will create a 101 in the backend. So when you save a service entry sheet, the 101 movement type will be there. So this is a 3-way match for limit POs when you have unplanned services. So unplanned services are like, let's say you have a breakdown. A breakdown means a machine that has some heat or some equipment, so that had a critical equipment failure. So in cases of critical equipment failure, the machine will break down. So the guys in the handling division or in the maintenance division, they will go rush and they'll check the service. They'll check the machine and they'll do the service. So this unplanned services will be like they need to get this unit up again. Otherwise the electricity or the product that they're delivering, this service or this unit will be down. If this is down, then the electricity for 2-3 cities will be cut. So one unit is 220 megawatts. So this supplies to nearby, I think, three cities. It is equivalent to supply of 3 cities. Okay. So if one unit goes, then you need emergency services, and then you don't know what quantity is there, what quantity of services are there. You will only use value limits. Okay. So for lean services, the lean services with limits are only supported for self-service procurement. So we have 2 procurements that I already told. In ECC, we use the external procurement with the service master, that is for external services, and this is self-service procurement. So self-service procurement is only enabled with the lean services. Okay. So if you want to have limits, you can also use that. So in standard, we are also using standard in my current client, but we're not using any limits. But you can also map. It is much better to map. Okay, let's go to the business scenario. So in the business scenario, we have lean services, and the application is named as managed service entry sheet. So in the same application, you can also track the service entry sheet of other users, and you can also map it with your. You can also make one new service entry sheet. So this can be mapped for approval process for the via the flexible workflow. As I said, I'll give you one link for flexible workflow, how to map it, and I'll also take this session, flexible workflow, and the release strategy also, how we used to work on release strategy. Okay, now let's go ahead with this scenario. So we have two types of services, planned service and unplanned services. So planned services are like when you know and you create a purchase request with item, that is free text or the material type service. Okay, then you have unplanned services in which only the value is known, but you don't know how much quantity will be required. Like I said, like I gave an example of critical services or the breakdown services. In that, you need to urgently work, and you need one uh, PO, and you need to do SES for the work that is done by the vendor. Okay, so you will have item category as enhanced limit E, and you will have the actual quantity for which the service entry sheet is done. The start and end date are made mandatory at the item level. This is for the suitable consultation charges. Why? Because when you put a service, you'll have start and end dates. Why do you have start and end dates? Because there will be a period of time. Okay, so whatever service is performed, let's say you have a service that is needed to be performed for over a month, then this service will be, let's say you have a cab service. Okay, so everyone has done Ola, Uber uh, in their entirety of life. Then you might have booked some Ola or Uber, let's say for 2-3 days. So what happens with Ola and Uber? You need to define the period, right? The vendor or the cab driver needs to know how many days he have to drive the cab for you. So the dates of service will be maintained at the item level, and this is suitable for the consultation charges, maintenance charges, office rental, and other related services. So this is one other thing that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so this is one process flow, how the flow is done. So I have made 3 slides for this process flow only. So this is much easier for you to understand. Do you have any doubts till now, till the business scenario? Why do we need planned and unplanned services? What is external procurement? What is internal procurement? Any doubts?
No doubts as of now, Aman.
Okay. Rajkumar, Guru Raj, you guys are very silent.
It's fine, Aman. It's
Okay, so I'll go with the process flow. So I'm done with the business scenario. I'll go with the process flow now. So in the process flow, a purchaser creates a purchase order with the lean services, SAP Fiori application, manage purchase order. Then, then you have to create. After this creation, you can either use blank. Blank is for free item text or master data. What master data stands for is you will create a service master. In the service master or the material. Okay, so the service master in S4 HANA is material master only. When I say self-service procurement, it means the lean services. So in S4 HANA, you have material master or the service master, which is same. But if you want external procurement or the item category D, in that case, you need a service master. That will be additional work. Okay, so this item category E is used with the lean services only. So this app for there's an app. Where is that app? Okay, manage service entry sheet application will work with your enhance limit and the limits. Okay, so this will work with the limits item, enhanced limits, and item category blank. So blank means standard. So when we use standard, you'll have services and the consumable items. Okay, so standard items means services or consumable item with reference to a product master. So product master is nothing but your material master. You can use you can use it to measure like the unit or the quantity or per rate. Okay. Then you have limits. So what limit value means is you have you can use the limit to specify the short text, and you have expected value. Let's say you know what value you will use, and you don't know the quantities, then only you will use limits. So this service entry sheet also works with the where you know the value only, not the quantity. Then we have lean service PRs. So I added this one. This is just because you will create a PR. What happens with service PRs is we'll create a service PR, then it will go to approval. Once it went to approval, we'll make a PO. Then after that, we will make our lean service or the service entry sheet. So we have lean service PRs. This will identify as product group of service 2 or the service type SERV product group 2. Okay, so this will have your material or the service. Is anyone okay? So a quick comparison was that this will benefit the scenarios of lean services. The scope is narrated in the 1909 release. So per release, you will know that what applications have been changed. So this is manage purchase requisition, professional. This is create PR, employee self-service, and this is manage lean service entry sheet. So these are few applications that was introduced because of the lean services. So I'll not be demonstrating these two applications. This is something that that is not required. So we'll use GUI to speed up the process. We'll only check what is lean services, because everything configuration I'll be doing for all these. So this is already done. I'll also show you in the system. Now the final process flow. Let's zoom in. So this is a PR. Okay. So this is central purchase create purchase requisition or manage purchase requisition. You can create it via the both. Okay. And this is also professional. So with professional, you can use the limits, and with this you can use quantity and unit price. Okay. So you have general material. With materials you can do free text, you can do Migo, etc. With plant services, what happens with plant services? You will use free text material service type, then you will use managed service entry sheet. Then with the PR of professional PR, you will use enhanced limit item category E. You can use framework order for directly posting. Framework order is different. Is a different document type of framework order. We'll not go to framework order today. And this is our unplanned services. So planned and unplanned. Just remember, you have free text. You can use the text. You can change it. Then you'll go to manage service entry sheet and post your invoice. This is nothing but your two types of services. Service procurements. Okay. So this is one application. Lean service apps. App is manage service entry sheet. You have 4-5 informations. I'll be explaining everything in a detail. You can go through the overview once. So in this application, I've attached the screenshot. You will have the service entry sheet for this item, this PO. The item will be there, the product will be there if the master is there. Otherwise, they have used this as material group. So they have grouped and used the service without material. So they have not used any material, but they have used this managed service entry sheet application. So when they go, they have to put this details, posting date, creation comes automatically, ordered come automatically. Then the stated quantity. Stated quantity is the quantity that you will need when you will what is the total quantity that you will require when you are mapping the service entry sheet. So the basic concept of service entry sheet is after a work is done, you need to do a service entry sheet. Okay, so lean service app. So after, okay, so confirmation is only allowed using the lean services app, and some of the features are listed as below. The below features are include Map it once. So the below features are you can change the account assignment of the lean service entry sheet. You can you have approvals via the flexible workflow from 1707. Okay, so 1707 the approval came, but 1709 it got fine tuned. So by fine tuned I mean 1707 introduced flexible workflow, but it was not majorly used. So this had a bug. It had a bug. I read every till 2011, 2021. I read every new change for the flexible workflow. So 1707 had a bug which got fixed in 2020 version of this S4 HANA. And 2021 is very stable. So whenever you are asked which version is very stable, just remember that the one version before the current version is very stable. So 2021 is very stable. So it has every flexible workflow that is possible, and all the bugs are fixed. Okay, so it was this flexible workflow was introduced in 1709. A new approval mechanism was there in S4 HANA. Then the GR document is created once SES is approved. So post approval, a GR in the background is made. Okay, the same can be changed or cancelled upon the withdrawal of approval. Okay, so the approval can be given in the managed service entry sheet application and email to that person with trigger if it works. Okay, so the email trigger will be there if you want to have it. So I have not customized email trigger, so you can also add it, but we have used flexible workflows. Today we'll be only demonstrating it without the flexible workflow. So when we'll configure the flexible workflow, I'll tell you how it works. If I start using flexible workflow, I'll have to log into different accounts to approve it, because the same person cannot be the approver. Okay, so this functionality is no longer valid after 1709. You can also use this email trigger without activating the flexible workflow, but we have to activate the flexible workflow. This email trigger is optional. Okay, so we have to set up the flexible workflow setup. Once it is activated, we'll be using the lean services. Okay, so the date of service procurement has to be entered. Service performance, on what actual date the service was performed, or the starting date and the end date will have a particular period of the performance date. Okay, so then the service entry sheet is simplified so that it can be given to the supplier to maintain the same, and this can be triggered for approval to the business users. So while creating of SES, the item description can also be maintained in case of limits items. If we use item category as standard, we will not have the item description option, and if the value exceeds, then you will have some error that will block the booked amount. If it increases, then the limit. So I'm not sharing the configuration today. I think we'll have I'll take some time to explain. So this 2 3 4, okay, 4 sheets I will explain in the next session. Let's go. Let me stop sharing. Let me log into the system. I'll share once I'm ready. I'm not sure why this cookies failed. One second. Incognito. Okay, I'll go create a PO first. So why I'm creating a PO? Because without this, my service entry sheet will not work. Okay, let's create. Okay, this is my PO, purchase order. Second. Okay, I'll select. I'll select this PO. This is customized. Okay, so I'll use my vendor. So these settings are already there. I'll also show you the material master. So now when I entered, this is asking me to add validity start and validity end in the header. However, when I told you, I explained that start and end date are possible in the last. So when I selected this document type, it is giving me here. So I'll go, I'll only use account assignment and I'll keep this blank. I will use my material star mm17 star. I created one service item for this. Okay, test service for mm17. I was testing one mm17 service. Let's put 100 as my PO quantity. Then validity start. I want to start my validity from the past month. Let's say March. Till March, I'll do it till 30th April. Okay. So I've entered this validity start. I've entered my service. I will enter my price, conditions, PV00. I have to add my condition manually. And I'll put, let's say, 1,000 rupees is 100 rupees is there. Okay. So this requires a cost object. I'll use this since this is a test system. I've given some cost object. Okay, so this is service. So this service will go to some cost center, right? So in my system, I have configured like this will go to some cost object. So what I've done is I've used the account assignment category. I can either use it via the order, I can use the cost center. So I can change it. This order means maintenance order. So when you have PM model also integrated, you'll create it via order. Otherwise, you'll have to use K or F. Let's see what happens if I don't put anything. I'll remove this. You cannot use product type group with the selected account and assignment category. View details. So as I explained, SAP SAP has the standard SAP has given the account categories that can be used with this. Okay, so you can do third party project, sales order, network, project, cost center, assets. Only these can be used with the product type category too. Okay, so I'll put this screenshot also. Or let's skip. Okay, let's skip. Uh, okay, let's go here. We can use K also. Doesn't matter. Right. When I used it, it went. I have used K only. Then this is blank. So if I used the enhanced limit, I'll have to put something in the later stages of the service entry sheet. So right now I'm showing you since we are short on time. Okay, so we have used K as our account assignment category. That means cost center. Then I filled the plant. I don't need to fill the batch and location because services are not batch managed. Then we have start and end date. You should always fill this. So I took the start and end date as this. I have made it mandatory in the header only because my clients used to forget. So they used to forget that they had to fill this. So we can, when we put the error, so it came in the header data of the error because there was no error in the line items. So I had to do it like this. Okay, so this is customized. Then we have customer data. One second. other, just this. Okay, so I filled all the details that was relevant to me. The material, service, plant. This group came automatically, plant services. I'll click on check. Okay, the fiscal year is not in the budget. Okay, let me go back, select the date. If I get some budget issue, then I'll put some date that is prior to this fiscal year. So sometimes due to FM or the function or the fund management module, since we have fund management active, will not be able to create our details. Okay, so sometimes we have to manipulate. Go to org data, additional data. Okay, 1 second. I'll just put it 3. And here I'll put it 2. Now we will click on check. Mass maintenance. Type 51 was attempted. You're not using any document types. Just remove this. So required conditions. Period fiscal year for budget not open in FM posting. I'm not using any fiscal year budget. Sometimes we have to configure FI things also. This I forgot. I think it was OB59 something. T code was there. So this specified year should be okay. Let's check. I think this is MM issue slash MMPV. But I opened the periods. I also opened the periods. It should not work with this MMPV and MMRV. Let me go check once. It is much easier if we check via this 11 12. It's fine, right? Okay, now slash OB52. So OB52 is a okay, is a company code we have to put. This is not maintainable. So this period is needed to be open, right? This period is not open, that is why it is throwing some error. Not sure why we are facing this error, but okay, let's skip. So let me show you one other document slash N. So this is our table SA16N. What I'll do is I'll use EKPO and our MATNAP, that is our material. I'll use the material that we were creating with. I had already created some service POs. So we'll use the same data to fill in and we can proceed further. We'll just copy the PO this time. Okay, I got some details. Okay, so this is my some POs that I have. So I'll go click here, copy. Let's click on new, create. So if I click on new, then I'll be asked to fill all the details. So I won't be filling all the details. I'll just click on here, tab 10, save. So this is the same material that I'm getting. I have this dates. Okay. Just need to put correct date here. So the correct date would be, let's say I'm planning it for 02. Okay, 20th Feb. I'll just put this date here. That's it. I'm not going to change anything. I'll click on check. Fiscal year budget. Okay, I think I will have to continue tomorrow then for this. Let me get past this issue, then we can check. Not sure what is needed to be done. Only in OB52 it can be done, but I cannot maintain OB52 on my client. It is needed to be done by the FI people. Okay, so we can hold or check, or else what we can do is we can have. Let me explain you till then. This manage service entry sheet. So this is one application, manage service entry sheet, lean services. We'll create a PO afterwards. Let's skip that. Okay, this one is in process. We can copy the PO number. We can delete this later on. Okay, so this is the PO number. This is in process. We can delete. Nice. So I already have a PO now. Slash m 22 23. So this is one PO that was already there. So we don't need to worry about this. Let's go click on create. So I'll not be able to save it, but I'll be able to explain the process. That will be much easier for me. So this is one service. Let me name my service. And what happens in the latest version, that you will be able to tick all, or you can select, unselect. Let's say I want to select only these. I'll click on add. Then I can add. So will only be able to select those, and this item will be 10, 20, 60, 70, 80. This will come automatically. I'll click on name. Name I'll put as a test of lean service procurement. So this is the name that is mandatory. This red star is mandatory in the reference. Then the posting date. So let's check the posting date. I'll click on the month that is open. That is January 3rd. Okay, 12th. 12 plus 3 is March. Okay, so this posting date is mandatory, name is mandatory, and the reference. Now what I've done is, for my enterprise, Sage Enterprises, I've named it this. The status will be 10, 20, 30 in approval. Then the next status will be your uh, approval pending. Then after approved, it will show as approved, or it will show as rejected. The stated amount will be the amount that will maintain. So this stated quantity will reflect as stated amount. Now let's check. We have 10 quantities of these services. So right now what will happen? I will put some date. So this date is needed to be between the start and end date. Okay, so the start and end date of the PO was. So when I said you will need to maintain the start and end date, this will be any date between these periods. I've maintained this date between 2026 and 2023. So I'll put, let's say 1st April, I'll put 4th April, 3rd April, 2nd April, 16th April. I can put any date. I'll put March also. Okay. So let's say you had a date. The service start from 14th Feb, or it started from last October, 18th October. So you can put any dates. So this date, the performance date only means the date when the performance or the activities was performed. Then this is a quantity. Okay. So this is your product. This item description you can check. Okay. You can put 10. You can put XYZ, la la la, or you can put K, B, anything, any word you can put. This is a free text. This is one functionality that was introduced in S4 HANA. Okay, then this is the stated quantity. This will come, right? This will come. Then this stated quantity is, let's say I want to maintain 1,000, or okay, it's 10 only, 10 eaches. So currently it is using as 10 eaches here. I have this comma, so it will be okay. Now 1 second. If I double click, it will go inside. It will show me all the details, right? Let's say, let's say I want to put two quantities only. I will not put the whole quantity, and then I can put it easily. It will show me which GL account. This is my GL account, the consumption, GBB. It will go to this account. The net amount will be there. If I want to distribute, we have distribution percentage that is maintained in the PO. Okay, so in case of multiple account assignment categories, we can distribute. Right now, I have no attachments. I can add a link, or I can add any documents for this particular item. Let's say I want to add this image. Okay, so this image will be added. One JPG. This is uploaded by me, and I've added in the particular item. This is one functionality, and there is also one functionality of adding the documents here. So let's say I want to attach one document related to this. So I'll be able to attach any documents for the approval. This is SAP standard. We have not customized it. Okay, so I'll just click on delete. Don't want any documents here. Okay, and now this is done. So when I pressed enter, I told you there will be stated amount. Okay, the stated amount will be based on the stated quantity. So if I change, let's say if I go change here to 4, this will update the stated amount here. It will automatically come as 3,600 INR. The status will be here. The open amount is 0. Okay, it will be 0. We are not doing anything right now. Then one last thing was approval details. So after the flexible workflow is triggered, this approval detail will come. Now I'll do nothing. And yeah, one last feature was to add. So let's say you had a mood swing, or you had not a mood swing. Sorry, my bad. You had a change of plans. Now you want to add the item 40 or 30. So how will you do? You will click on add. You'll click on the item as 30. So the 30 item will come. The 30 would, whichever purchase order item 30 would be there, it will come. Now you can put it, and you can select this one as well and click on delete. So right now I will delete it since I don't need it. So I've done everything, filled everything. I click on save. On clicking save, this will show me in process as 10. It gave me service entry sheet number. Okay, so right now in the PO, I only have service entry sheet number. 1 second, and let's go to conditions. So we all know that right here we will have our purchase order history just after the account assignment. So this is a screen layout that will know. So we have this for 10, 20. So I'll stick on 10 item. I click on save. I'll click on send for approval. So now this is on approval as 20, right? So let's check. It is going to Ashok Kumar Seth. I think it is maintained already. Okay, automatic release will be there. It will be automatic released. So when I clicked on, okay, so this is not automatic released. Okay, so this is the process flow now. So you can check this process flow. Once it is sent, it will be sent to the next step. After a release of SES, we'll go to, there are some tools that I know. SWIA is a workbench tool for your service entry sheet. So right now I have time, but I'll not put time because in standard how we do, I'll show you like that. So this is my created on time. This is a SWIA T code for our workbench administrator. I'm not sure how I have to process. So I'm not sure which ID it went to, who is Ashok Kumar Singh. So I'll just go click on this and put it complete manually. So when I click on complete manually, task not found in process, all this task. Okay, so this is a serve workflow that will complete it. Then this next workflow will be completed. First the serve workflow is done, then the workflow is done, then this item will be done. Let me refresh it. Okay, so if this is approved, then this will be deleted logically. So I'll go click here. Now I'll have one purchase order history. After approval only, I'll get a purchase order history. So you can check, as I said, just by the side of account assignment on the item number 10, you are able to see the purchase order history. The SES that I showed you was 889. So this is our SES number 889. So for this, let me refresh. So when I refresh, it will give the next detail and it will show as approved. 1 second, it is loading. So the status is 30 as approved. The status is the process flow is GR. So when I'll do invoicing, it will show invoice documents also. Okay, let's go back. So this is the background 101 Migo document. You can also check. You don't need a service master. This Migo will be sufficient for you to make this services as goods receipt. Okay, this is 74.100, which is my GL for the consumption. Okay, let's go back to my PPT. So this is 101. So I have simplified the process. I have shown you this. We are due with the configurations. We already know how SERV is configured in the material types. I've already shown OMS2. This is the OMS2 configuration only. We'll not be configuring anything else.
Hi,
Then, yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Shall we stop? And for today, it's been a
Oh, yeah.
little.
Okay. My bad. I didn't saw the time. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I
So
interrupted.
no issues. I'll stop the recording also.